My name is Zoe Race, and I'm 21 years old. Right now, I consider myself a writer. I have an older brother named Axel Rays, who is 30 years old. He works at a big company after finishing college. Our parents passed away in a car accident when I was in 9th grade. The shock made me really sad, and I isolated myself from others. I couldn't even go to high school because of it. Over time, I got help from a doctor and, with my brother's support, I started to feel better. When our parents died, my brother had just started his job after college. Even though it was a difficult time for him, he took care of me and helped around the house. He would do the housework and support me in any way he could. I started to slowly help around the house too, doing things like cleaning my room, tidying the house, doing laundry, and cooking. With my brother's help, I began to get back to a normal life. Now, we live together in the house our parents left us. We share the house chores, but since I mostly work from home, I handle cooking and shopping. Going out for groceries is a nice break, and I really enjoy cooking, coming up with new recipes, and trying different dishes. When I was isolating myself, my brother gave me a laptop. He told me, "Look at the world out there through this." I used it to explore the internet and found many interesting places through photos and videos. My brother would sometimes take me to those places, or I'd go on my own. Without his support, I might still be hiding away from the world. Eventually, I learned about working remotely. I started doing small jobs from home, which gave me more chances to go outside and return to a normal routine. After our parents passed, my brother became like a parent to me. He is both kind and strict, balancing those qualities well. He studied really hard, which helped him get a good job at a big company after graduating from a national university. 7 years have passed since he joined the company, and now he's a team leader. There's been a change in my brother. He's always been shy around women, but as his friends started getting married one by one, he finally began dating someone. He met her through a friend's introduction. 2 years later, she proposed, and they decided to get married. One day, he invited me to dinner to meet her. We went to a Japanese-style restaurant, and my brother nervously introduced me to the woman, who would soon become my sister-in-law. Her name is Zoe Race. She graduated from the same university as my brother and is 2 years younger. She works as an office lady at a big food company. With her wavy, semi-long hair, she looked a little older than her actual age. "Nice to meet you. I'm Zoe, his sister. Please take care of my brother," I said. "Likewise," she replied with a smile. "Zoe Race, you're such a cute sister. I've always wanted a sister, so I'm really happy you'll be mine." She wore slightly heavy makeup, but she seemed like a kind person. Then, she asked me about myself. "Since Axel went to a good university, I'm guessing you also went to a good one?" she asked. Before I could answer, my brother spoke up for me. "Actually, Zoe didn't go to college. When our parents passed away in an accident, she was in 9th grade. She struggled with her mental health for a while, but she's doing fine now." Nora looked surprised. "Wait, she was sick in 9th grade, so she didn't go to high school either?" She seemed confused and kept asking questions. I decided to add to what my brother said since it was about me. "Yes, that's right," I said. "I wasn't able to go to school for a while because of my illness. My brother helped me a lot, and thanks to him, I was able to recover. I'm really grateful to him." Nora nodded. "I see. I understand now." I then tried to lighten the mood with a little joke. "My brother may look a bit older because of everything he's been through, but he has a great personality. Please don't judge him just by his appearance." But Nora didn't laugh. At the time, I thought Nora was touched by everything my brother had done for me. From what I heard, Nora's family was very impressive. Both of her parents had graduated from top universities, and their whole family had great grades and went to college. They all worked in prestigious jobs, with many being doctors and lawyers. Nora's father was an executive at a major publishing company, and her mother was the president of a local women's association. Hearing this, I thought my brother was going to join a really great family. Even though he was busy with work, my brother was preparing for the wedding, and seeing him happy made me happy too. I helped out with various tasks whenever I could. One day, I got a call on my phone from a number I didn't recognize. I was a little nervous but decided to answer it. "Who is this?" I asked. The voice on the other end said, "Zoe, I'm Nora's mother. Nice to meet you." I was surprised it was Nora's mother, who would become my mother-in-law. "What can I do for you?" I asked nervously. She replied, "I heard from Nora that you didn't attend high school and only graduated from middle school." I wasn't sure where this was going, but I answered honestly, "Yes, when my parents died in an accident, I had mental health issues. It took me a long time to recover, so I couldn't go to high school." She said, "I sympathize with your situation, but the fact remains that you only had a middle school education, right?" "Yes," I confirmed. "I see. I have a favor to ask. Please don't attend Axel and Nora's wedding ceremony. Actually, I'd like you not to attend at all." I was shocked and confused by her sudden, outrageous request. "What do you mean?" I asked. She continued, "You see, both Nora and Axel graduated from top universities. My husband and I also graduated from college, and so did all of our relatives. They're all very successful people, with jobs like executives, doctors, and lawyers." "Yes, what about it?" I asked, still confused. She sighed and said, "You're not very smart, are you? No wonder you only finished middle school. As I said, our family is full of elites. Everyone at the wedding will be highly educated and successful, so I don't think it's appropriate for someone like you to attend." I started to understand what Nora's mother was trying to say. "So, you don't want someone like me, a middle school graduate, at the wedding?" "Exactly," she replied. "We'd rather you not come at all. How could we introduce you to our relatives without feeling embarrassed?" "But I'm the groom's sister, his only family. I can't just not attend." "Please don't come anyway," she said coldly. "How could we introduce you to our family without feeling shame? Do you understand? I've said what I needed to say." She hung up, and I trembled with anger. They looked down on me just because I hadn't finished school, caring only about appearances and reputation. I never thought my life was something to be ashamed of, and I didn't think I deserved to be treated like this. But then I started thinking, what if my presence ruins my brother's happiness? Maybe if I stayed away, he could have a smooth marriage and future. I've caused him enough trouble, and I want him to be happy, no matter what. Still, being dismissed like this hurt. I spoke to my brother about it. He said, "Don't worry, Zoe, you're my sister, my only family. Of course, you should come to the wedding. I'll protect you, no matter what. But if I cause trouble, I don't mind not attending," I said. "You won't cause trouble. You're my one and only sister. If I can't protect you, what kind of brother would I be?" "Thank you, brother." His words gave me courage, and I decided to attend the wedding. On the day of the wedding, during the family introductions, when my uncle introduced me as part of our family, Nora's parents looked at me with disdain. My brother noticed their attitude. At the reception, I worried there might not even be a seat for me, but there was. As I sat her down, I felt sharp stares from Nora's mother. She came over and said, "Why are you here? I told you not to come. You're a disgrace to our family." "I'm his real sister. I have every right to be here," I replied firmly. "For a middle school graduate, you sure are insolent," she snapped back. "Just remember this." She left, leaving me shaken. Then the bride and groom entered the room, and seeing my brother looking so happy made me smile. Nora was beautifully dressed, sparkling in her wedding gown. But suddenly, as the ceremony began, Nora's mother stood up, grabbed the microphone, and spoke loudly. "Our family is full of college graduates with respectable jobs. Axel is a great match for us, but there's one problem: his sister, a middle school graduate. She's an embarrassment to our family. We want the groom to cut ties with her. If he can't, we won't allow this marriage." The room was filled with guests, but Nora's mother ignored them. She turned to my brother and asked, "Axel, can you swear to cut ties with this embarrassing sister and become a true part of our family?" Both Nora and her father nodded in agreement. She handed the microphone to my brother, expecting him to agree. My brother took a deep breath and said, "Yes, my sister is a middle school graduate, but she's my only family since our parents passed away. I cannot and will not cut ties with her. I apologize to everyone who attended today, but I'm canceling the wedding. From this moment on, I consider this relationship with this family as non-existent. That's my decision," my brother said firmly. With that, he slammed the microphone down on the table and walked straight to me with a calm, refreshed smile. "Zoe, I'm sorry for the trouble. We don't need to be here. Let's go home," he said gently. Later, I heard from relatives who attended that the reception was cancelled after my brother left. The bride burst into tears, and her parents were humiliated, having to apologize on their hands and knees. They were also forced to return the wedding gifts. Later on, my uncle contacted my brother. He said while my brother's attitude at the reception wasn't praiseworthy, he would have severed ties with him if he had gone through with the marriage. My uncle also mentioned offering a sum of consolation money and asking the bride's family to cover all the wedding expenses. But my brother refused, saying he wanted a sincere apology from me, not just a monetary settlement. After some time, a meeting was arranged at our house to settle everything. I decided I wouldn't let them off easily. At the meeting, my ex-sister-in-law and her parents arrived. They handed over money as compensation and apologized for the rudeness during the reception, but their apologies didn't seem genuine. There was a sense of reluctance in their words. My ex-mother-in-law even said things like, "We should have investigated more thoroughly. If we had, this wouldn't have happened." Showing no real remorse, her husband, my ex-father-in-law, added, "Axel should have told us more about his sister from the start. Then none of this would have happened." I was filled with anger but stayed calm as I carried out the plan I had prepared. "Mr. Father-in-law," I began. "Well, you're not really my father-in-law anymore, but for convenience, I'll call you that. You work at Rainbow Publishing, right?" He glanced at me, slightly surprised, and replied, "Yes, I do. I'm a director there. What about it?" "You see," I said, "I work with Rainbow Publishing too, but I can't bring myself to like a company where someone like you holds a position of power. I'd like to terminate our contract." He smirked and said dismissively, "I don't care. We have plenty of clients. Losing one won't affect us." "Understood," I said, ready for what came next. "I'll quit working with you immediately and sign a contract with your rival company," I said. "Go ahead," my ex-father-in-law responded arrogantly, not taking me seriously. Ignoring him, I called the editor at Rainbow Publishing and informed them that I was terminating my contract. There was some confusion on the other end of the line, but I said what I needed to and hung up. Then, I contacted the rival company and told them I was ready to sign with them. Even after my call, my ex-father-in-law stayed smug, acting as if nothing had happened. My brother, unsure of what was going on, looked around nervously. Suddenly, my ex-father-in-law's phone rang. He answered it casually at first, but his tone quickly changed. "What? The president wants to talk to me. What's going on?" he muttered, and then his face turned pale as he continued the conversation in a whisper. After hanging up, he turned to me, looking shocked. Are you the popular author, yes, Ray?" "Yeah, that's my pen name for writing light novels. So what?" I said. "Our president just told me that we're losing one of our top authors because of me, and now it's my fault. The contract is ending," he stammered. I shrugged. I asked if it was okay to end the contract, and you said it didn't matter. That's all there is to it. He looked flustered and desperate. "Wait, you're right. I did say that. But please, I apologize. Can you reconsider? Don't terminate the contract." Seeing his sudden change in attitude, my ex-sister-in-law, confused, asked, "Why are you acting so humble to a middle school dropout?" "You idiots," my ex-father-in-law snapped. "She's our publishing house's top author. If she leaves, it'll be a huge loss for us. The president told me to take responsibility, and if I don't fix this, I'll be demoted." "What, really?" my ex-sister-in-law gasped, turning to her parents in panic. They all started arguing with each other. "Please, can't you reconsider?" my ex-father-in-law begged. I shook my head firmly. No, it's too late. The matter is settled. Please leave. My brother stood by my side and said to them, "Please lead," as she asked. With that, my brother and I smiled as we watched the three of them leave the house, their shoulders slumped in defeat. After they left, my brother turned to me and said, "You're a popular author. I didn't know that." "Yeah," I explained. "I used a pen name. Last year, I posted something I wrote online, and it got a lot of good feedback. Rainbow Publishing offered me a contract, and I've been making quite a bit of money from it." My brother's smile grew even brighter, and it was the first time I had seen him smile like that in a long while. With that, the whole engagement drama was over. My ex-sister-in-law tried finding another partner, but because everyone knew what happened, no one would approach her. She eventually became a recluse and quit her job. As for my ex-father-in-law, he was blamed for losing my contract and got demoted to a regular employee. He couldn't handle the hard warehouse work and ended up quitting. My ex-mother-in-law, who behaved so badly at the wedding, was harshly criticized by her relatives and lost her standing in the family. It served them right. Meanwhile, my new publisher supported me, and my popular novel was turned into a comic. It gained even more popularity, and now there's talk about it being adapted into an anime. My brother is working hard trying to put the wedding behind him. It's just a bad memory. I hope he finds a wonderful person who will bring him happiness. Now, our lives are peaceful again. I'm still busy writing light novels, but this routine feels like happiness. My brother and I are even planning to go on a trip soon, taking along memories of our late parents, who passed away in the accident.